Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening, wherever you are. Thank you for joining me again for another live Q&A session. I think we should rename these as like a community gathering or something. If you have suggestions, please put them in the comments. Thanks again for joining. If you're new here, then welcome. We're glad that you're here. My name is Angela. I'm a full-time voiceover artist and audiobook narrator, and my channel here on YouTube is dedicated to those of you just getting started out in this wonderful word. I sound like the Swedish chef. The wonderful world of voiceover and audiobook narration. And through my channel, I share with you some tips and tricks and techniques that I use every day in my own voiceover business. And I answer your questions, and we all come together and hold hands and share stories and tips and tricks together. If you're not new here, then you know every week we have a new poll. And this week, I wanted to go sort of serious on you because this is something that we all face. This is something that we all deal with sometimes on a daily basis. So, how do you handle rejection? And that includes not getting the job, maybe auditioning over and over and over and not hearing anything back. Maybe it was a job that you really, really wanted. Maybe the client reached out to you and asked you for a sample or a demo and you never heard back from them. Negative reviews, maybe being ghosted. Again, maybe you applied for something or you sent a demo to somebody that you really, really wanted to work with and they never got back to you. Nothing, just no response. How do you handle that? I wanted to know how you guys handle that because I know how I handle that. And in the beginning, it used to really bug me because back then we don't know what we don't know yet, right? We haven't learned that you can't please everybody. You want to, you really, really want to, but you're not going to. There's no way, it's impossible to please everyone because everyone's going to have a different opinion. And again, as I've always said, when you're auditioning for something and you don't get it, it's not necessarily because you're bad. It could be that you are just not the voice they're looking for. But on the flip side of that, if you are getting some feedback and some of that feedback is maybe not always politely constructive criticism, constructive criticism. What's wrong with me today? Polite constructive criticism. And it is feedback that's sort of harsh. But if you're getting a lot of the same sort of comments, it could be that you might need to take a look at maybe your space or your technique, or maybe we need some coaching. It's hard to hear, no matter how it's delivered and served or where it comes from. It's hard to hear, for me anyway. But the reality is that they're giving you feedback. They're trying to help. Maybe not in the kindest of ways sometimes, but they're trying to help. And maybe it should be taken to heart. Maybe it's something that you need to fix. Or maybe they're just having a bad day and wanted to point out the mole on your face. I get it too. I get it all the time. But it really comes down to how you handle it. So enough with my tangents. Let's find out how you guys handle it. So the responses were, it gets to me and I shut down. Looks like 11% of you said that. It gets to me and I shut down. And I know how that feels. 36% of you said it gets to me, but I keep going. And 36% of you said, I use it as fuel to grow and continue. And then 18% of you said it doesn't bother me at all. I wish I could be in the doesn't bother me at all category, but it does. It's not that I'm striving for perfection, but I want to be good, right? And if you're hearing the opposite, then you can't help but wonder, well, what if I'm not? Right? But then you also have to realize that again, you're not going to be able to please everyone. There's just no way. And everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but those opinions you can't let bother you because they're just that. Their opinions. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily true, right? All right. Let's see who's first in today. Who's first in? Goodness gracious, there's a lot of you here today. Thanks for spending some time with me. Joya! Joya says, I chose It Gets to Me, but I keep going, not because I've been rejected in the VO world, but in the publishing world. I tell myself they weren't my target audience and move on. Not everyone is your target audience. So don't take it personal. Just keep going and find your people, the ones who can appreciate your work. Nicely put, Joya. As always, very succinct and on target, on point. Thank you for that, Joya. Eric is here. Hello. It gets to me, but I can handle it in the short term. But if the drought drags on, it starts to get to me. Can totally understand that too. And I think it is for that reason that I say to never sit idle. Never just sit back and wait for the work to come to you. Be proactive. Always be working on something, revising, whatever pay to plays, platforms that you're on. If there's a lull, get busy. Don't just sit there and write out the lull and woe is me. Maybe I really stink and this isn't a fit for me. Instead of doing that, occupy your mind with something constructive, productive. Get onto your website and update your titles, add new pictures, change the colors, get into those platforms, those pay to plays, those freelance platforms, update your demos, revise the titles and tags, change up the keywords, refresh your thumbnails. Do something, right? That way you're not just sitting back and going, oh, woe is me. Nobody likes me. Instead, you're taking that bull by the horns and you're taking action. You're doing something about it, right? I'm not saying that you're doing that, Eric, but I'm just saying don't just sit there in the drought and go, in the lulls, find something to do. Always stay busy, always busy. And that will help keep your mind out of those dark places, right? If you're doing something about it, no matter how small. Sean's here. Hi, Sean. I shrug rejection off like water off a duck's back. But I do get miffed when a potential client asks me to do an extra read in a particular style or wastes my time in some way, and then I get passed over. Yeah, I can understand how you could get miffed if the client is asking more of you. But if you look at that as another opportunity to win their business, that could be another way of looking at it. Maybe they didn't like the first version you gave them, but they want to give you another opportunity instead of just saying, nope, this isn't going to work. Sorry, we're going to move on. They want to go, okay, I love your voice, but this isn't exactly the tone or pace or whatever it was that we're looking for, but we love you. We want to work with you. So let's try this again, but in maybe another way. I would look at that as another opportunity to win their business, not necessarily as rejection or a waste of time. If it ultimately doesn't end up being a job, then yeah, that's upsetting. But what it comes down to again is that you were close, but you weren't exactly what they were looking for. And that's again, not necessarily something wrong about you, right? It was just that you weren't able to deliver what they had in their head for whatever reason, right? Try to look at everything, and I've said this a million times, but try to look at everything through a positive lens, right? Because it's very easy to start digging And then the more we think about it, the further down we dig. And then before we know it, we're at the bottom of this deep, dark hole. So if we look at things through as opportunities instead of obstacles, and believe me, I don't always do this. I'm no way perfect. I have my bad times too. But after I sit and think about it through a positive lens, I go, okay, well, this wasn't a rejection. They were trying to give me another opportunity, but I just wasn't the right fit. And that's okay. I'm just going to keep pushing on to find the clients who I am the right fit for. As Joya said, my target audience. And you don't know exactly who those people are. They have to find you, right? Because we can't know when we're looking for a client who is looking for our particular voice or delivery or whatever, right? So it's difficult, but you got to keep going. You got to keep auditioning. You got to keep getting out there so that meeting happens. Tangent number 2. It's really early for tangents. Good. Dylan's here. Hey, Dylan. It gets to me, but getting the job is scarier for me. Then the real work and fear of the client not being happy begins. I totally understand that. And I think a lot of people here would echo that sentiment. But they chose you. They chose you for your, based on your demos or the sample you sent or whatever it was. So be thankful for that and just do your best. Because again, if you start to think about all of the bad things, if you're looking through that negative lens instead of through the positive lens, then it's really easy to get that paralysis that comes, right? When we start to overthink things because the fear, like, oh my God, what if this isn't right? This is my opportunity with this client and I'm just going to blow it. You can't look at it that way. Just instead take that energy and focus it on the copy. Focus on what it is that you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish. Again, the who are you in the copy, right? As the narrator, who are you? Who are you representing? Who are you supposed to be? Who are you talking to? What is the purpose of this copy, right? Am I trying to evoke emotion? Is it a call to action? Is it just informational? Who is the audience that I'm talking to? Am I talking to a group of doctors? Am I talking to, the senior community? Am I talking to millennials? Am I talking to married couples? Am I talking to single? Who am I talking to? Because of course that tone is going to be, based on who it is that you're talking to, who you are as the narrator, and the purpose, right? So spend all of that energy of oh my gosh, I'm going to screw this up. Spend all of that energy on just doing your best to understand and interpret the script is the best way that you can. And then using your own life experiences and perceptions of things to deliver that information and just do your best. That way, if it all goes bad or they decide to go, at least you know that you did your best. You didn't sit there and start digging that hole. And this is what I get for digging that hole. You never dug the hole because you spent all of that energy focusing on the script to do your best. Wow, Tangent City today. Eric says, ahem. I shortened the intro. I cut the intro in half because the intro was almost 4.5, 5 minutes long. It was a very long intro. So I cut it down to just over 2 minutes, just so it was a shorter intro. Oh, there it is. Yes, sir. Nightly Virtue. I love that username. Hello, hello. Hello. Cami says here and on time. Cami is accounted for, present and accounted for. Caesar says, I think most artist types take rejection very personally. You have a point there because they're passionate of their craft. But it is important to move forward no matter how it makes you feel. Don't let it cripple you. You're absolutely right. And I think, you're right. It goes with just being creative, I think, because you are passionate about the art that you're creating. But it's the business brain, I think, that needs to step in every once in a while and say, hey, it's not you, boo. It's X, Y, and Z. You weren't the right fit, right? No matter how great you think that was, you weren't the right fit. So your passion is validated, right? You did the job well. You just weren't the right fit. So move on and let's find someone who is the right fit for us, right? John Peterson is here. There we go. What, for the music, the intro? Yeah, I had to cut it. It was too long. Yeah, no. Tiff's Stellar Reads. What's up, Tiff? Hey, Angela, nice to see you. Well, I wish I could say the same. I can't see you. I can only see the little user, the little user profile picture. I really want to get started in VO, but I don't have equipment, and it will be a while until I do. Would I still benefit from being a platinum member and get sort of started? Yeah. Having the equipment, I mean, there's no prerequisites for being in my platinum group. None. What we focus on mainly is my train just derailed. What we focus on mainly is reads and expression and thinking outside the box. There are times when I have sort of mock audition competitions, but usually for people that are brand new to the group, they're not like next up or anything. They have a little bit of time to get situated for their space and audio equipment and things. So, but it's all good stuff. So I think to answer your question, yes, I think you could. So we would love to have you. If you're interested in joining my platinum group, then check out my website, voiceoverangela.com. Go to the VO workshop tab. If you hover over that, then a drop down will appear. It'll go to, if you select plans and pricing page, platinum, the platinum group is right up at the top. A lot of questions on where do I find that? Writer Dude says, good morning, everyone, from Keith in Renton, Washington. Well, good morning, Keith. Glad to have you here. Brandon Keener, voiceover talent. How you doing, Brandon? I audition and forget it. If I get it, then it's like, ooh, a new toy. Hello from Brandon in North Carolina. Same. Ooh, new toy. What can we do with this one? Rustic Hillbilly. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Rustic Hillbilly. Brandon Keener, voiceover talent, says, Angela, The Gathering. I love that. Although that might get someone in trouble. Yeah. I think you're onto something, though. Yeah. Caesar says, that being said, hello, Angela. Hello, everyone. I am not eating fruit today. No, what was it? Cotton fruit? And Caesar sent us pictures of the cotton fruit. It looked really interesting. It was segmented. It almost looked like a mangostino. Is that what they're called? It was like almost like an orange. It had segmented pieces, I think. Didn't it? Getting sidetracked. Tiff's Stellar Reed says, I'm just so conflicted if I should start or not because I have nothing. Well, you can at least work on the delivery and, get to learning the lingo. I think there's benefit there, regardless of where you're at or what you have to start with. Being part of a group is going to help you in so many ways, whether it's mine or just being on Facebook groups. Just lurking on Facebook groups and taking in all the information, you learn so much. So when you do have what you need, you can immediately put that stuff into practice. All good things. Xanatos 4673 says, hello, I still use Adobe Audition 1.5. Can you send me to where I can learn to mix my voice down with that DAW? Thanks and keep going. I'm not sure what you mean. If you go to Creative Cloud or Adobe Audition, Adobe Creative Cloud, you can look into the different apps that are available. Adobe Audition is one, and go from there. Or if you're looking for how to use Adobe Audition, I have plenty. I have plenty of videos on my channel that go over different aspects of using Adobe Audition. Barb Cam is here. Good morning, Barb. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Phil says, hey, Angela. Hey, all. Hey, Phil. How you doing, Phil? Brandon Keener, voiceover talent, says at Tiff Stellar Reads, just start. You'll miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Mic drop. Absolutely. Just do it already, Tiff. Eric says, I handle that by auditioning. Eventually, something will turn up. It's the dry spells that are hard to put up with. Yep. And use the dry spells to do what? Stay busy. Do something. Revise, improve, add, reconstruct. Downtime is getting busy time. Or in your case, probably go on a cruise, right? Eric is our resident cruise director. Caesar says, also, that being said, I did have one experience being ghosted, and it paralyzed me for an entire day. I couldn't do anything. I was very new back then, felt like I was way over my head. And if you think about it, Caesar, not everybody has the time or the ability to answer every single email, inquiry, submission, especially if they're soliciting submissions or auditions, then they've probably got a lot. And we cannot, and I know you understand this now, but if you're just getting started and you have similar experience where you've submitted an audition and you're waiting for feedback, don't. Because no one is obligated to give you feedback or to respond to you. You're either the voice or you're not. Or maybe they're tired after listening through 100 auditions, or maybe they found the voice that fit in the first 5 auditions. And we can't expect everyone in the world to spend all of that extra time responding back to 100, 200 people and giving them, feedback on stuff. Don't expect to wait. Don't wait. Send auditions, audition, and don't expect to hear back from them. Just keep auditioning. If you do hear back, great. A shiny new toy. I got a new job. But don't expect to get feedback. If you do get feedback, that's great, but it's rare. MG Steven says, good morning, Angela and everyone. My husband and son are my cheerleaders and get more upset about the rejections than I do. Same. When I talk about him with my other half, he gets a little bit more miffy about it than I do. Because I understand. And him being a creative too, you think he would understand that, but he's still at the beginning stages of exploring the business world. And so, he's still kind of new in that way, and he takes things a little bit personally. So he gets a little bit more upset about it than I do. So I totally get it. We all need cheerleaders and others who give us constructive feedback. Yes, that is another reason why I say to join groups, peer groups, Facebook groups that allow you to share demos for feedback, like mine, because getting feedback from multiple perspectives and personalities and opinions will help you find what you need to fix. Or if you don't need to fix anything and you sound fantabulous, right? Or they'll support you when you need it, when you're feeling down. Phil says, hey, Joya. Kelsey V says, hey, Angela and friends. I think it's just part of the process. You get used to it. I definitely know my next steps are more workshops training. Good for you, Kelsey. But you're right. It's just nature of the beast. Any business you start, there's no way to please everybody. You're going to have people that don't like you, don't like your prices, don't like your whatever. It's hard to make everybody happy. Chrissy's here. What's up, Chrissy? The only time I've been bothered was with a rude Fiverr client, and you will have those from time to time. I've been asked out on dates a couple times on Fiverr. Again, anytime you leave yourself open and available online, anywhere, you're going to have people taking advantage. So just, keep your head about you and say, no, thank you, and then report and block. And move on, and then keep on trucking. Caesar says, as you gain experience, rejection is easier to handle for many reasons. 1, you have a proven portfolio. 2, you're too busy to mope. 3, It's one less thing to overwhelm your already busy schedule. Well said, Caesar. Absolutely. Jim is here. Hey, Jim, as Joey Bag of Donuts. I'm currently receiving tons of rejections. They are all my beginning audition attempts. Ick. I know I've grown and I'm much better now. Much. Rejection is a necessary evil. Eat it and move on. I love the attitude, Jim. Great attitude, Jim. You're right. Just keep moving. Just keep moving forward. Don't start to dig that hole because it's really hard to get back out of it. Phil says, "Hey, Caesar." And then Caesar says, "Phil, how you doing? Got any fruit?" Dwight. Dwight's here. Hey, Dwight. Good afternoon, everyone, from the CT shoreline. Cami says, off topic. 2 weeks ago, I finally passed ACX requirements on Audacity. It was such a celebration, Angela, and that is good because I know the feeling. It takes a while to get there, and you're just like pulling your hair out after weeks of tweaking that and doing that, and now this is messed up, and now that's messed up, and I understand. So definitely celebrate that. And celebrate for those of you that are not kamikaze, celebrate everything. Celebrate every win, no matter how small. Do it. But good for you. Good for you, Cami. I totally know that feeling. Phil says to Caesar, ha ha ha. Eric says, I currently have nothing on my plate. Going on vacay in 3 weeks, so I'd rather not have something that I would have to put on hold, but it kills me that there's nothing at the moment. Eric, go get something. Go get something, Eric. And I've seen your TikToks. I think that's a great step. That's a great step forward, but you have to be consistent with those. Keep going with those. It's going to take a little while for the algorithm to put you in the right place and to start showing you to more and more people, right? So keep going with that. Good job. You know, that actually reminds me, I was watching on TikTok yesterday. I was watching a gentleman that was sharing some information and some statistics about streaming services, Netflix, HBO Go, all of the Disney Plus, all of those. They're starting to really lose a lot of shares. There's a lot of people canceling these services. I don't know if any of this is correct. I'm just relaying what I heard yesterday. And so point of this is that he was relaying how much importance user generated content, meaning us making our content, was gaining popularity, that people were going to these short videos. Everyone was going to look at everyday Joes making content versus watching streaming media. I thought that was interesting. I didn't, go in and verify anything, but I just, in passing, scrolling through TikTok, I thought that was interesting. So if that is true, then making that content, Eric, is going to be important for all of you. Get on social media and start making video content about whatever it is that you want, or podcasts, or whatever you're going to do. Choose a subject and just start. Just start doing it, because that is a great way to promote yourself, to market yourself without marketing yourself, right? Sunny's here. Hey, Sunny. Good morning, Angela. Not being the one is fine. There's only one spot available. After all, it is tough wondering if it's just a few things that need working on, but that's what coaching is for. You're right. Because especially if they don't give you feedback, you don't know where you missed it, right? If you were the right voice, but there was something wrong with the audio, or if you just weren't the right voice, right? If they don't give you feedback, you don't know. So that is why you have to turn to groups or a coach or somebody that is willing and able to help you to determine where you can improve, what you need to work on. You're right, Sonny. Dylan Holt says, Eric, I've got some work I can send you to keep busy. I'll be taking complete credit and receiving payment, though. Dylan. Phil says, I don't know how some people can audition 10, 20 times a day. It takes me forever during the editing. Phil, you might be doing too much. You might be overdoing it. Auditions should not take you very long unless you're doing them multiple times because you're getting too much in your head, or you might even be over editing. Auditions are only a couple of minutes at most and shouldn't take you that long to do. So, if I just by hearing that, it sounds to me that you might be doing too much, Phil. Don't overthink it. Tiff Stella Reed says, "That's how I feel about the short stories and novels I write. If someone doesn't like it, I remind myself that there is at least one person who will enjoy my writing, and that keeps me going." You know, great point. And I was working with somebody, when was that? Late last week, I believe. And he's an author and wanted to narrate his own book. And I was working with him one on one. And he asked a question about, well, how do I narrate this so that I can pretty much appease everybody? And I said, you can't. Again, there's no way to please everyone. Some people are going to love it. Some people are going to hate it. But the best part of this is if you're the author, you make it what you want to make it. That is the glorious part, right? Like Tiff said, there's at least one person who will enjoy your writing and what you've created, and just the act of writing something to completion and then providing it, sharing it with the world is, for me, I would think would be just gratifying enough to finish it. Right? To have something complete and polished. It's your baby. You've been spending all this time on it and then sharing it with the world. I think that in and of itself would be so gratifying to me. And then on top of that, if I was to narrate it and make it an audiobook version, making it what I wanted to be, whether people liked it or not, it was what I wanted it to be. I think that would just be so awesome. Right? And I think more than one person would probably like it, Tiff. Okay, I gotta turn my air conditioner on, y'all. Hold on. It's supposed to be like record-breaking heat today. Yay. Fabulous. We have a super chat. Hold on. Good gosh, you guys, lots of comments today. Thank you. Sean, thank you, Sean. Sean says, do you set aside a specific time each day for auditions? Is this something you do when things slow down? What do you recommend for newbies? Actually, I don't do a whole lot of auditions. To tell you the truth, I stay pretty busy with the other things that I do that I don't audition. But when things do slow down, I do exactly what I'm telling you guys to do. I get into my website, I refresh my demos, I take a look at my thumbnails and consider refreshing those. I refresh my titles and tags, and I go in and I keep busy. That's basically what I do. And I recommend the same for you new folk. Because as you go along, as you progress, you just inherently grow and get better. So refresh those demos, refresh the samples on ACX. Just keep busy doing something, right? Learning something new on YouTube. I mean, YouTube's a goldmine of information. Just stay busy. Just keep at it, doing something productive. Don't just sit and twiddle your thumbs. There's always something new to learn. Always. In some other way that you could improve your processing, improve your performance. You could, improve your visibility online. There's always something that could be done. Yeah, I lost my spot. Because once I click away, it just goes, whoop, whoop. I think we're here, Fiber Jazz. Greetings, Angela, and hello to all. My first time joining you, and I'm happy to be here. We're happy that you're here. Kamikaze, kudos on passing the ACX requirements on Audacity. I will echo that. Kelsey says to Eric, I feel that. I'm in a drought right now and making a career transition, so equals no money. So just working on networking, signing up for casting websites, researching VO. Good. Stay busy. And keep in mind that if you have other skills unrelated to VO, and if you go onto these freelance marketplaces like Fiverr and Upwork, you can offer those as well. As long as you can deliver the final product digitally, upload, download, offer that too. That's another stream of potential income for you. Everything you do does not have to be VO related, right? Like me, I edit podcasts, I resell books, I have a lot of things going on. So it doesn't have to be all, you're just pigeonholed as a voice actor. And that's all you do, right? Offer it all, do it all. Dwight says, I haven't had any paid gigs yet. So every day, excuse me, frog. So every day is potential rejection day. Don't look at it that way. Dwight, I'm going to stop you right there. Every day is a new opportunity, not a potential rejection day. But it is also a potential streak breaker and thereby a great day. I work hard every day, and that is okay too. I'm paying my dues. And you're learning and you're growing, right? These are all things that are normal and natural in the beginning. You're not going to start one day and go, oh, yeah, I'm going to win an Academy Award tomorrow. You have to crawl before you walk, right? You have to crawl before you stand, and then stand before you walk, right? It's a natural progression of learning and growing. So just keep learning and growing. You will get there if you just keep at it, right? Evie8642 says, I was asked for a sample and haven't heard back. I'm nervous and excited because it's my first audiobook opportunity. At the very least, I took my first leap. Now I feel like it'll be easier next time. Good for you. And if you don't hear back from them, I mean, I would not expect to hear back from them. You either do or you don't, but don't wait. Don't wait on a feedback or a email or any kind of correspondence from the client. Don't wait. Just keep auditioning. So take that energy in feeling it's going to be easier for the next one, use that and do the next one, and then do the next one, and then do the next one, and just keep going. John Peterson says, I found things happen for a reason. I'm a firm believer in that, even if we can't see it. Usually it's because I needed to learn something. More often than not, it's to be patient. And also, if something doesn't work out in your favor, it probably was, you're better off for it not. Something along the line, down the line, it could be tomorrow, it could be a year from now, you're going to have a benefit from not getting whatever that was or not having that work out in your favor. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. You dodged a bullet, right? Kamikaze says, thanks to Fiber Jazz. My mouth doesn't want to work today. Eric says, Dylan, oh, I'd love to help, but I'm washing my hair washing my hair that day. I'm washing my goldfish that day. Sorry. Caesar says, I no longer have time to mope around. I have so much to focus on. I'm narrating. I also have a videography service to keep me busy and have big plans for my studio. And I'm improving my mastering skills. All good things, Caesar. All good things. Phil says, I'm not the type that can easily reach out to people, so that's something I also need to work on. It does get easier. I freeze up when I have to reach out to people, but I know that my business depends on me. So I have to man up and do it. Just get it done. And it'll be done. And then I can move on with my life, right? It's hard, but it's necessary for the business, right? Just look at it that way. Caesar says, so rejection to me now is like, you couldn't tell a good voice from a warbling mountain goat anyway. Coffee. Eric says to Kelsey, I am updating, etc. I honestly enjoy narrating, and the absence of doing it is palpable. Eric, don't start digging that ditch. Renee Smith says, just last week, potential client DM'd me about a script he had for YouTube. He asked me to read to provide a quote. So I did. $25 for a 371 word script, including copyright, then nothing. Total ghost. Is $25 too much? No, it's nowhere near enough. But again, with these people that are making YouTube channels, if they're making video after video after video and they all need narration, they're looking for bulk discount pricing. So that is why they do that. But don't think that you need to do, 500 words for $5 because that's way too little. That's way too little. Stick to your rates. I can't tell you how many times I've had people reach out to me. I give them a price and they tell me, "Oh, that's double what I wanted to pay," or "That's way expensive. You're nuts." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I understand. Have a great day. Thanks for reaching out," right? Be courteous and polite. Thank you. Thanks for your time. And then a week, 2 months, a year later, they go, "Oh, we want to work with you at your rates." It happens. The people will try you on at a lower rate because just like you and me, we want to pay less for what we need or the things that we want, right? We want to save a couple bucks. So you can't really fault them for that, but stick to your rates. Those YouTube clients with the YouTube narrations, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for a bulk discounted rate. Don't be afraid to offer them, but don't go like bottom of the barrel rates either. Because if you think of it this way, if they do like you and the price is good, it's agreeable for them, that's consistent return, repeat work, right? That's a lot, that's volume for you. So look at it that way. But $25 is not too much. I would have compromised, or is this a type of scam to get my voice? This is 9 times out of 10 in these situations, it's not a scam. It's just a YouTube channel. And those guys, they upload videos every week, a few times a week, and they just need a lot of videos narrated. So they're looking for a discounted price because they're probably not monetized yet. This is all money coming out of their pocket, and they're trying to get their channel up and running, basically. Pamela McDonald is here. Good morning, all. Rejection just sucks, but VO rejection somehow has way less sting to it than a visual actor where looks matter. Auditioning for VO work is speed dating next to a roulette wheel. Caesar says, have you ever heard a mountain goat warble? No, can't say that I have. Very entertaining. Also, if you see a lady wearing a bikini made out of seashells and you pick her up and hold her to your ear, you can hear her scream. Okay, Caesar, you've had enough coffee. Okay, you're done. Somebody cut him off. He's done. Phil to Caesar says, where can I find the video? Which video? Which video, Caesar? Which video, Caesar? Joya says, whoa. I have 39 narrators that are the right fit, or at least I'm making sure they are the right fit. So everyone's the right fit somewhere. Mm-hmm. Caesar says to Phil, shh, it's in my private collection. It's labeled Mountain Goat Warbles, best of 86. Fiber Jazz says, it's important to set realistic expectations. Yes. Yep. On the nose there, Fiber Jazz. Challenging for a newbie, as we tend to talk about our success ratios and there aren't readily available industry benchmarkers. A coach, mentor, agent helps. Absolutely. And you can't expect in the very beginning of anything to have a lot of success to show for. And everyone that has been in that business for a while, they can all remember being in that position in the beginning where there's no success to show for. But knowing if you just keep going, there will be. So, right? So you can't expect as a newbie to like, oh, I'm nowhere near close to these people. I can't even associate or speak or no, because all of us that have been there for a while, we've been there too. We know exactly what you're going through. So, and most of us are extending a hand to help. So take it. Take it. Phil to Caesar says, LOL. Caesar's a funny guy. Caesar says to Tiff's Stellar Records reads. Okay, where's my clicker? Absolutely become a platinum member. Lots of geeks there who will happily talk your ear off about how to get started. Boots, mics, interfaces. Caesar, what are you talking about? Dwight says, Tiff, being Angela's Platinum group has been a great addition to my skill and knowledge set. The Discord group access is an excellent resource for knowledge and super support. Mhm. I love my Platinum groupies. We have to have a name for our group, something other than Platinum group. We need to come up with something. Writer Dude says, but the longer intro gives me the perfect window to get my coffee. Oh, I apologize. I had a lot of complaints about the intro and its length. And really, I didn't need it to be 4 minutes. I just needed a couple minutes to make sure that everything was working. So, sorry. Phil says, Cross of Destiny by Phil Son available now. Get your copy and don't forget to tell others. There you go, Phil. Good job. Gary Micheloni. I think I said that right this time, didn't I? Most of my freelance work is writing, with some VO and most on Upwork. What is irritating? Check my stats and seeing that the vast majority of my proposals are never viewed, maybe 1 in 8. That's interesting. I wonder if it's because they have a bunch, or maybe it's your price point that they don't even bother to open. I wonder, is there a way to dig a little bit further into that? I know that as a Upwork Plus, when you pay the subscription, you get the ability to see what the average bids are. I would want to dig deeper into that and see why. I have to say price is the first thing that comes to mind. But I want to know what the other proposals were. Phil said, just try to talk about my book. No links. Hopefully you guys can see it. Yep. You got it. You just can't put in links. Otherwise, YouTube won't allow it. They'll think it's spam and they won't allow it to go to be seen. Glowin says, good afternoon, Angela and chat. Hope you're all having a great day. Poll question. It doesn't bother me at all. There are a lot of us auditioning for the same jobs, and I know this. Yeah, it's another way of looking at it. There's just a lot of us out there not really competing, but trying to be the voice that the client needs. It's the way I have to keep looking at it. Cami says, Angela, I'm an introvert, extrovert lurker, though I have my moments from time to time. I am introvert, 100% introvert. Caesar says, mangosteens. Is that what it was? Mangosteens. Okay. I love them too. They're so abundant here. They sell cheap. I took a trip to San Antonio, Texas a few years back, and they were eye-wateringly expensive. Forgot how much, like $180 for 3 pounds. Well, aren't they native to Asia? So if fruit's going to be local to you, it's going to be, there's no cost in shipping it across the sea, right? I thought that they were mangosteens. Aren't they in Asia? Anywho, Dwight says, Tiff, you can also learn a ton of info about setting the business of VO work. You can get a lot of that business stuff staged, so it is in push button go mode once you get your equipment. Exactly. Nice, Dwight. Writer Dude says to Tiff Stellar reads, a good microphone and headphones can cost as little as $100, and they don't have to be brand new either. You can find them on, oh my God, it was just there. OfferUp, Macari, Facebook Marketplace. There is a group on Facebook Marketplace that's all they do is just like voiceover equipment. I forget what it's called, but if you do a little bit of searching, you'll probably find it. But that's all that it is just pre-owned like audio equipment. Isaac says, outwork your self-doubt. Yes. Stay too busy thinking forward to give your brain time to dwell on the negative stuff, right? Outwork your self-doubt. I love that. Well said, Isaac. Writer Dude says, has anyone ever used a gaming headset for practice and not production? More breath noise, etc., but they were only $20 for so. Just a thought. To tell you the truth, I would rather spend that $20 on a good set of, or even just a decent set of studio monitors, unless you're just using the headset just to listen through. To start, I think that's good, but I would definitely not use it for a microphone for anything. Unless you're doing like a Zoom call or something. Is that what you mean? But I would just say if you're trying to be conscientious of how you spend your money, there are other ways of spending that $20 that might be more helpful, more would behoove you. That makes sense? Make more coffees in order. Kelsey says, Angela, have you ever had to do a live audition? How was your experience? I have one on Wednesday and I'm so nervous. A live audition? No, I've never had to do a live audition. I've done a live directed session where the client has paid for a product and we did it live together so they could sell me, live. Do it a little bit more this way, a little bit, but not a live audition. Why do they want you to do a live audition? Do they want to make sure that you're a person and not an AI algorithm? That's interesting. Or are you doing something like spokesperson? Are you going to be on camera? Why are we doing a live audition? You must tell me. You must tell me. Inquiring minds want to know. Tiff Stellar Reed says this is such awesome information. Thanks for the encouragement, everyone. Absolutely. That's what we're here to do. That was dumb. Why did I do that? I don't know. Caesar says, at Writer Dude, I haven't personally, but I did help clean up a friend's audio recording from a gaming headset. It was workable, but oh my God, it was plosive city. Gary Micheloni to Eric P. If you have nothing to start because vacation coming up, then begin an email campaign to all platforms and all your contacts. You can answer emails on your vacay. There you go. Eric, just keep going. Just stay busy doing something. Joy West says, hello, everyone. Hello, Joy. Good to see you. It bothered me in the beginning, but I learned to just lick my wounds and keep going. I've got too many auditions to let rejection stop me. Yes, Joy. You're the best, Joy. I hope you're feeling better. I hope things are healing up well. Dylan says to Eric, what's your TikTok name? Is it Enterprise something? What is your Hold on. I can tell you. Maybe. Oh, poop. I've got the live on my screen. Dylan, we can ask him on Thursday in our platinum group what his TikTok username is. Phil says TikTok and Insta have the most traffic, and I don't have them. Gives you an idea what kind of a turtle I am. And I totally understand that. I was never one of those people that got onto social media and was like, oh, look at my sandwich that I had today. Adam was never one of those people. Never. But as a business owner, it's something else that needs to be done to market yourself. Because if you think about it, that's where all the eyes are. And going back to what I just mentioned about the streaming services losing all the business because their viewers are paying more attention to user-generated content, i.e. social media videos that everyday Joes like myself make. Where does that tell you that all the attention is? Go to where the eyeballs are, and that is social media. Start making short little videos about anything. You could chronicle your journey into this new endeavor. You can talk about the weather. You can go through, oh my gosh, you could talk about, I had a bunch of ideas the other day and I didn't write them down. Scary stories. I mean, anything that you want it to be. Just do something. Caesar says to Tiff's Stellar Reads, don't thank us here. Let us give you a proper welcome as a platinum member. We'll roll out the red carpet, bring out the Aperol. What is Aperol Spritz? What is that? And you get to join our Thursday Zooms. Yes, we will definitely toast your arrival. Dylan says, always something to learn is true. Just this past weekend, Caesar taught me how to make an origami rock. You guys are the best. Chrissy says, everything is a learning experience. It's absolutely true. Everything, good or bad, it's all a learning experience. Caesar says to Dylan, such a valuable life skill. Amaze your friends. Freak out the kids. Watch grandma go, how in the heck did you do that? Joy says, I always want to learn origami. Okay, so Caesar, You're gonna have to have your own channel on our Discord, the origami place, the origami spot, something where you show everybody origami. Caesar says to Joy, "Have a look at my origami rock tutorial in humor." Oh, there you go. You need your own channel though. A writer dude says, to Kelsey V or anyone who may need to diversify. If you are strapped for cash, you might be able to get some gig work through a temp agency app. They are usually very flexible as far as scheduling. Hmm. You could also consider being a virtual assistant, an online business manager. There's a lot of ways that you can make money online. Joy says, I work with Excel spreadsheets. I am an internet researcher and a virtual assistant, so I have a few skills to fall back on during dry seasons. There you go, Joy. Joy says to Caesar, I'll have to check that out. Victor says, hi, Angela. Hi, Victor. I am just getting into the VO space. I find that there are so many different parts and pieces to this business that I'm unaware what order to do things in. I have the gear and am learning my DAW, but I keep feeling like the cart is getting out before the horse. There isn't really a right way to go about this as long as you're doing everything that needs to be done. It doesn't really matter in what order you do them. But I definitely recommend getting into a community, becoming part of a community so you can learn and grow with other people. You'll grow faster and learn what to do and what not to do. And it'll be so much more beneficial for you in getting things off the ground if you are part of a group that understands what you're going through, can teach you the lingo and all of these other things. You will grow so much more with a group than by yourself. That's what I would do. Kelsey to Writer Dude says, actually, in the interview process with the VO studio, I'm very fond of. Been doing gig work in the meantime. I emailed the studio and asked if they need admin, and here we are. Oh, I see. It's not like a VO audition. It's more like a job interview. Well, that makes sense. Kelsey V says, I've made tons of mistakes, but I've learned a lot this past year. Being in your 20s feels like being a diet adult. Oh, that's so funny. Writer dudes, Kelsey. A diet, like an adult light. Writer dude to Kelsey V, whereas being in your 50s feels like you need to go on a diet. Dwight says, I like the shorter music lead in. Good. Marjake. What about having a regional accent? I'm from Minnesota and we are accused of sounding nasal. That just makes you unique, right? Do it. Don't let anybody hold you back. Don't hold yourself back based on this, that, or whatever. Just go do it. Just get out there and do it. Kamikaze says, Angela, I've narrated shorts on my channel, and although it's been a minute since I've uploaded one, I will soon. In your spare time, would you visit for a brief listen and leave feedback, please? Sure. I'll have to go and look at your channel. But I think the key to social media videos is consistency. It doesn't have to be polished. It doesn't have to be fully edited. It doesn't have to have graphics and text, and consistency is the key for social media. I mean, Gary V will tell you all about it. And if anybody knows, he's the guy. He's definitely proven it time and time again. Consistency is key with social media. Phil says, thank you, Angela, for letting me promote my book on here. Of course, we are a family. Let's promote each other and support each other, lift each other up. That's what we're here to do. Gary says, Angela, regarding the unviewed proposal on Upwork, price is not the issue because the proposals are not viewed. And on Upwork, my average proposal sent costs 12 plus connects, about $1.40 or so. That is interesting. I wonder if they're just, I don't know. Maybe I'm hearing COVID's going around again, so I don't know what's happening. Maybe they're sick. Maybe they're not checking as often on Upwork. I don't know. But that's interesting. I would actually maybe even contact customer support and go like, hey, are these clients getting notifications that they have proposals in their inbox? Kelsey V says, to writer dude, LOL. But yes, gig work is super helpful for transitioning into being a freelancer and supplement VO while establishing yourself. There you go, guys. Now we're thinking positively. Uh-huh. Caesar says, I sold a good chunk of my old studio gear for a generous discount just last week. My customers were budding singers and streamers. Seeing their excitement when they got their stuff was a lot of fun. Love that, Caesar. Kelsey V says to Gary Micheloni, yeah, I've kind of given up on Upwork at the moment. My proposals rarely get viewed, even with professional setup. That's interesting. I wonder if it's a issue on the client's end, like they're not getting their notifications or something. Caesar says, so yeah, your startup gear doesn't have to be brand new. It could be used, but well maintained by folks like Caesar. Kelsey V says, Angela, it's a live audition for an audio drama. Oh, how fun. We're doing one in our platinum group. That's a lot of fun. Audio dramas are becoming more popular, so be open to them. Caesar says to Joy West, oh yeah, how are you feeling? How's the healing process? Hopefully you'll be there on Thursday and give us the update. Kamikaze says, by the way, I was using a Snowball and a video audio software called Wondershare Filmora to record before setting up my closet studio. That is a great software. I use StreamYard, and StreamYard is been awesome so far. So I recommend StreamYard also, or OBS. Is it Thelvy? One? Staying busy is important, but sometimes a legitimate vacation is more important too. Yes, learning to rest is valuable, even necessary. I completely agree with you. I think like every so often I'll be like a lull, and then I'll be busy, and then I'll be busy, 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 and then it'll be a lull, and then maybe I'll go, you know what? I really just need to take this as an opportunity to rest and relax and, recuperate, right? Recharge. So you're right. Every once in a while, you should take that time for yourself, because self-care is very important, because your business will suffer if you can't be part of it, right? Or your family or whomever else is depending on you. Self-care is very important. You're right. VoiceOver Van Deen, how you doing? Afternoon all. The frog and I just popped by to say a quick hi. Yeah, the frog has been popping in and out here saying hello, but not as much as often as before. The frog was very invasive before, but he's just a casual lurker now. Now that I've switched to my creamer. You guys did that for me, so I appreciate that. I have the plant-based creamer now, and so I'm not so flammy. Froggy. Oh my gosh, how do you even pronounce that? QWNPNGWN? First time joining live. I'm sorry if I totally butchered that, but that's not exactly easy to say. Any encouragement for a mom with baby starting VO? Already had a few rejections on ACX, and you're going to have rejections. You're going to have them. It's part of the process. Don't let them get to you is what we're trying to say. Just keep going. So having babies or littles around the house is definitely going to be interesting. You're going to have to probably strategically schedule things. For me, I had to wait until everybody was in bed and then come down here late at night while it was quiet. No one's mowing the lawn, right? Nobody's asking for a snack. I'm down here by myself working a couple hours a night. You might have to figure out little segments of your schedule that you can dedicate to working on this. And again, it's going to take as long as it's going to take. So don't, hate on yourself for this is going to take forever. And it's going to take as long as it takes. But the point is that you have to just keep going. You will get there. You just have to allow yourself the opportunity to get there. So just keep going. Joya says, audio drama, World of Infinite Insanity. Writing on ours now. Good. I love it. Queen Penguin. Oh, I love that. Thank you. Thank you for that. Joy says, to Caesar, it's getting better. My physical therapist is tough, but very good. So I'll be running late Thursday, but as long as there are no storms, I'll be there. Oh, that's right. We're supposed to have a storm coming through here too, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll see. Caesar says to Joy West, fantabulous. We're looking forward to seeing you there. I think it's a wheel of emotions. Yes. This week is Wheel of Emotions. It'll be fun. We always have a great time with Wheel of Emotions. Gary Micheloni says, in my honest opinion, every VO should have a podcast. Lots of free options. I have 20 episodes available everywhere, but I use them as samples sometimes. That's a great idea. And you can also send your podcast to clients too if you wanted to. But it's just another way to market yourself, right? Just do it. Just get out there and do it. But thank you everybody for joining me today. I think this was a very enlightening and productive discussion we had today, and I hope that it helped everybody, somebody. I hope you guys all took away something today. But I will be here again next week, same bat time, same bat channel. So until then, everybody take care, keep going, and just let everything slide off your back like water off a duck's back, right? I'll see y'all then next week. Bye.